welcome back to Poplar Creek Farm. Today I want to talk to you guys about the farm business and kind of where we're at with profitability. So I'll start out by saying we were not profitable again this year. I did a video last year kind of breaking down expenses and what we made on each kind of category of my business. I'm not going to quite do that this year, but I am going to talk to you guys about general idea of how we can make each category of the business more profitable or make it profitable at all. I did find out, unfortunately, that going into this is my third year owning a business, third year running a business, and I always thought I had 5 years to show the IRS that I'm profitable, which is basically shows like a hobby versus, a business. And unfortunately I found out this is my critical year. Third year is the year you have to show profit, or you're considered a hobby by the IRS, which it's one of those things. It is what it is. I'm not going to make like such drastic changes that, I'm not able to enjoy running the farm, just to show profitability. Like if it becomes more of a hobby thing per the IRS, it is what it is. Farming is not my primary source of income or source of any income really. My husband and I both work. I work per diem. My husband works full time. I have worked obviously full time in the past before I started the business. So, we have to make money other ways, until the farm can be profitable, but that doesn't mean that we don't want it to be profitable. We do want the farm to make us money so that this can be a source of income for us. So I did lose again, obviously, but I will say there was some positive sides to things this year. So I have multiple categories of my business. I do many different things. I do goat's milk soap, beeswax lotion bars, lip balms, like beeswax products. We do the honey, obviously we have the bees. We do produce, we have egg layers, we sell eggs, we do meat chickens, and now we've added the pigs this past year. So in that, you have room. So say one thing, loses money 1 year. You have other ways to make profit and still be overall profitable as a business. And my soap, my beauty products, my soap, my beeswax products, that was profitable this year. I actually had profit based off of, everything I've spent on oils, all the money I've spent on oils, beeswax, molds, things like that. I haven't spent as much. I didn't spend as much in 2022 because I already had a lot of the equipment and the things I needed. So my expenses were less than the year before, and I actually made profit, which was awesome. I think my soap sells really well consistently, especially at craft fairs. I sell, most of my sales, or a good majority of my sales at craft fairs, are my soap and my beeswax products. That's partly because I don't sell eggs and chicken and things at the craft fairs. I do sell honey, and I would sell more honey if I had more honey at craft fairs. So, I still have those other things, but those I don't sell at craft fairs. So obviously, like, my sales are from something else. And the soap is the biggest thing that I sell. So that was profitable. So I'm not changing much in that category other than just expanding out some different scents, and making sure that I constantly have product available. Inventorying is something, basically the bookkeeping in general, I am not spectacular at. But inventorying my stuff, my soaps, to make sure that I always have, if I'm running low on something, I have it already being made. That's something that I need to improve on. But overall, there's, other than, just making sure that I have more product made, there's really not much I'm changing on that. I've done well, and I'm going to keep that consistent. And I know that that is something that I've done well on and can continue to expand without expanding so much that I then lose money. Because and that's one thing I've seen in the past with other, avenues of income. When I expand too much in a year, and I'm spending, so much because I'm expanding, it takes so much more, obviously, sales to be able to be profitable. And bees are one thing that because I've continually expanded so much, I haven't seen profit. But it's something that I think I can. This year I assumed I would have had a lot more profit this coming year, because I had hoped that would have been able to overwinter all 10 of my hives that I had, and then I would have been able to get up to the 16 hive bodies that I have purchased. I already own that equipment. I have the bottoms, the 2 deeps. I have supers. I've got inner covers, top covers, everything. I've got the things for those hives. So I wasn't going to spend any more money on beekeeping equipment other than maybe a few supers. And I wasn't going to buy more bees this year because I wasn't expanding past the 16. Unfortunately, I did have a massive loss over winter, which is something that is somewhat out of my control. There is only so much with beekeeping you have control of, and some things are just out of your hands. I think one of the reasons I lost so many hives was we had a massive cold snap that was down into the negative 40s wind chill. I think if any hives were struggling at all, that just knocked them down. Had we not had that, maybe they would have done okay, because they were alive a month or so before I checked them when I checked them and I found that they were dead, they had been alive a month before. So it is what it is. There's nothing I can do now other than move forward. So I did buy some nukes. Again, that's an expense, but I'm not buying massive amounts. I'm not spending thousands. I mean, last year when I bought my hive equipment, I went, I'm trying to think how many I had the year before, but I want to say I bought 6 more hives or so, plus some other different various equipment, and it was like $1,500. So I would have had to sell $1,500 worth of soap just to even break even. I'm not expanding massively this year, other than, again, I'm getting the 2 nukes. I will hopefully be able to split some of my hives. I'm hoping to be able to catch some swarms. But this year my focus really is increasing honey production, not necessarily increasing the amount of hives I have. Because last year I split so many of my hives, I split them so much that I weakened them, so then my honey production wasn't spectacular. It wasn't a great honey year anyways. But again, there was things that I could have done differently that probably would have allowed me to be a little more profitable. Also, with not having to buy, I'm not buying more hive equipment, I'm also having to, I don't think I'm gonna have to buy any labels this year for honey. I bought a lot of honey labels last year in anticipation for a really good honey year, because I had 16 hives, or I think I ended up with 14 hives from my splits. I was like, I'm gonna have tons of honey, and that didn't happen between me splitting them too much and just a dry summer. So I have lots and lots of labels, which are expensive. And that's something I already have. I have that done. I don't need to buy those. I'll have to buy honey bottles, but that's just something that's part of, when you fill the honey jars and you sell them, they're gone. You don't get them back and you can't refill them. So that's something I will always have to buy no matter what every year. And that's something that I anticipate in the cost of my honey. So, my $10 jar of honey, includes the cost of the jar. It's under the anticipation that I'm buying that jar. So honey, I think in the beekeeping realm of things, I think I can be profitable this year. I think there's still, it's somewhat still dependent on how my bees do, how the honey year is. There's still some that's out of my control, but I think what is within my control, I do believe I can be profitable this year. Somebody asked recently on a farming page, I'm really looking to make some money off of my small farm. I'm thinking about putting a hive in my backyard. Do you think I can make money off of it? And I was very polite in the way I commented. I wasn't rude or anything, but I was like, no. Unfortunately, beekeeping is one of the most expensive hobbies, and it takes a while to make profit. It can absolutely be profitable, but there's a lot that goes into beekeeping, and it's not something that's like a quick turnover. You put a hive in your backyard and bam, you're going to make money. That's just not the way it is. I've been beekeeping for this is my 4th year beekeeping, and I've yet to actually make profit. Apparently because I don't know how to chill on expansion. But last year, meat chickens, we lost massively. Meat chickens were not at all, profitable. We did not sell a ton of meat chickens. Our meat chickens just didn't sell well this past year. I think honestly it was just due to inflation. I did raise my prices a little bit, but I really had to. I still don't make much on a chicken. So we're just decreasing that this year because I can't afford to lose, $1,000 on meat chickens, or $2,000, I think is what I end up being close to losing last year because I just didn't sell many. And I bought the chicks, I bought the feed, you put the money into them, and then now they're sitting in my freezer, not sold. So I won't be expanding on that. We're decreasing significantly. And if for whatever reason we notice, wow, meat chickens are selling great, there's always the ability over the summer to still continue to expand. But that's something, at least initially, we are decreasing significantly. The pigs were something that we obviously grew significantly last year because we didn't have pigs before. So we had to pay for all the structures, all the fencing, the pigs themselves. And because of when I sold my pigs, the 3 gilts that I did sell so far, they fell into 2023. So it looks like I spent oodles of money and had zero sales in 2022. So obviously 2023 should be a better year, sales-wise, just because I'm actually going to have sales. So some of the costs, at least by like the IRS, are going to be depreciated. So because I spent, I don't remember the exact number, but say I spent $1,000 on equipment, fencing and structures, that money, because it's over $500, will get depreciated and it'll get kind of spread out over the next couple years, because it should last more than a year. So there will be like some underlying costs that'll still be there, at least tax-wise, but still, I'll still have 8 pigs that I'm going to have hopefully sold all of, or 7 pigs, I'm sorry. 1 is ours, 1 we kept. 2 of them are already sold. They were sold as halves. And then I have the 5 that'll be going to the butcher this spring that'll be sold pieced out at the markets. So, that'll show profit. So I think overall, and I think eggs are going to sell really well this year. We did just get new layers. They'll be coming. We ordered new layers. They're coming next Friday, actually, in a week. So a week from today. So there's some expenses that, we won't recoup initially. But I think with the layers that we have, we will sell out of eggs regularly. And that will be something that'll be profitable this year. Or at the very least, break even on. So I think overall, produce is something, we're expanding on, we're growing on, but not massively. I'm expanding on the amount I'm growing to sell, but I'm not doing seedling sales because those were not profitable. I have not made money on those ever. Honestly, the seedling sales it's a lot of time and effort for something that makes me no money. So I won't be doing those again. It's just not worth it. So I will be growing more to actually, starting seeds in my basement to grow for ourselves and for selling. So that'll actually allow for more produce to actually be brought to market. I'm thinking produce can be profitable if I had the time to maintain it. That's my biggest struggle with produce is the time for maintenance. The time for getting out there and maintaining around the beds. Even just harvesting. Harvesting takes time, and I am one person. And so some of those things they sometimes fall to the wayside, and it's difficult to keep up with. But I am going to, continue to work on it and continue to do better. I think we're going to end up doing less markets this year, which will help because I'll have more time, more days, to maintain my garden and to maintain the different produce that I'm, growing and selling. So I think there's a lot of room for growth and a lot of room for improvement, and a lot of room for profit this year. I do think this is the year. Obviously, again, it kind of has to be, or I'll be considered a hobby, but I truly believe that this is the year I can do it. And I think farming is so worth it. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Remember, we're growing today for a better tomorrow. Please like and subscribe and join me on the next one.